Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Storytime with Aunt Becky. I told you we're going to read this series, and here we are back with God Gives Us Sunlight. This was my favorite book. Remember, again, these are for preschoolers 3 to 5. So if you're in your 40s like me and you don't like these books, well, boo-hoo on you, because I had these read to me and I read them and I still enjoy them. So without further ado, God Gives Us Sunlight. All these books are written by Ruth McNaughton Hinds, and they're copyright 1963, which explains why you can't hardly find them. God said, "Let there be lights in heaven to divide the day from the night, and for seasons to give light upon the earth." And it was so. Genesis 1:14 and 15. The day is thine, the night also. Thou hast prepared the light and the sun. Thou hast made summer and winter. Psalm 74:16 and 17b. That means it's the other half. In this book, sunlight is it. The repetition of this little word helps to accent sunlight's bright staccato. So here's the verses I just read over a sunlight light there. There's these two little children. God gives us sunlight. God made the sun high in the sky. I like sunlight, and this is why. Sunlight brings daytime after night. Sunlight makes every season bright. And it is sunny here behind me. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. In spring, God melts the snow in it. He helps my garden grow in it. See, plants begin to show in it. I'm glad God gives us sunlight. And robins come back in the spring, and they're after the worms. It's just a sunburst on this side of the page. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. It dries the clothes we put in it. See us run barefoot in it? I like sunlight in springtime. Buds on trees pop out in it, and bunnies hop about in it. I like to run and shout in it. Thank you, God, for sunlight. It's like a little boy and his little baby brother, and they're running barefoot. Must be warm enough. There is nothing like sheets and towels that have dried on the line. They smell so fresh. In the sun, it makes the towels what I call crispy. Gets the extra drops off you that just drying it in the dryer it just doesn't do the same. And my mother always had a clothesline. In fact, she still does. I mean, she's not using it obviously anymore. This is one of her shirts. It had to have been one of her favorites. There's a hole in it. But my mother liked to hang the sheets and towels and stuff on it. And it's always good, save on electricity to use your dryer. But there's nothing like it. If you ever get the chance to even just hang a blanket over your banister outside in the sun for a few hours, it makes a difference. I did that a few weeks back. I did that. Of course, you have to have dry, sunny weather, so. Sunlight. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. Our farmer friends make hay in it. What fun to jump and play in it. I like sunlight in summer. Fleecy clouds float by in it, and butterflies fly high in it. My puppy likes to lie in it. I'm glad God gives us sunlight. There's a butterfly she's chasing, or she's trying to catch. There's a saying, make hay while the sun shines. You can't cut hay and let it dry unless it's sunny. Otherwise it gets wet, rains on it, gets moldy, and your animals can't eat it because they will be sick. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. When I walk just so in it, I see my shadow grow in it. I like sunlight in summer. I like the rainbow spanned in it. God dries the sunny land in it. Then I can get sun-tanned in it. Thank you, God, for sunlight. Yeah, sometimes when there's some water and sunlight, you get a prism, what they call a rainbow. And my husband, although he cannot see, sometimes when we're walking along and the sun is behind us, he says, I can see our shadows. So it's pretty neat. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. In autumn, leaves turn red in it, and lots of seeds are spread in it. I like sunlight in autumn. Squash and pumpkins lie in it, nuts and corn stalks dry in it, and flocks of birds fly by in it. I'm glad God gives us sunlight. Oh, and happy fall. Tomorrow is the first day of fall, although it's felt like fall for a couple of weeks. This week is supposed to be pretty warm. It was 91 yesterday, but it's going to get cool. So, autumn is my favorite season. Next month is my birthday. Maybe that's why I like it so much, but I like the leaves when they start to change color, the reds, the yellows. Some of them are still green, some of them turn brown, but just the cornucopia of colors are just so beautiful. And there's a smell, I don't know what it is in the air. It's like the cool air coming in, and it smells so crisp. It's just before it gets too cold, of course. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. In winter, snowdrifts shine in it. Our sleds scoot just fine down just fine in it. I like sunlight in winter. My snowman starts to tip in it. An icicle drips in it. What fun to take a sip of it. I like God's gift of sunlight. If you ever get snow and you have a hill, you know what fun it is to go sledding. It is fun to make snowmen, and then they start to get all tippy. Do you like sunlight? I like sunlight. We crunch on melting snow in it and help new rivers grow in it. I like sunlight in winter. As days begin to warm in it, such splashy puddles form in it. God stops cold winter's storm with it. Thank you, God, for sunlight. Some people don't like the snow, so they're happy when it melts. You see that girl's wearing some boots. Well, they're all wearing boots, but she's walking around in the slush, and that's all you really can wear. I'm glad for happy seasons. God's sunlight makes just right. I'm glad for light, bright daytime. God gives us after night. Let me see if I can sing this. God's gift of sunlight shines above. Thank you, great God of love. See, it says to sing up the scale and sing down the scale. And here's the little girl sitting on the back step with her cat. That would be me. I like dogs too, but cats are my favorite. So she's hanging out with her friend the cat. In the back, there's that boy with the pumpkins. Well, that's the end. God gives us sunlight. I guess we can either read God gives us nighttime or God gave us Jesus next time. And that will be the series on a Tiny Thoughts book. So I hope you've enjoyed God Gives Us Sunlight. That was my favorite book. Little boy and girl have dandelions in their hands. You know what I've heard said about dandelions? So many people don't like them. But I've heard that they're like a little bit of sunlight in your yard. That's not the problem I have growing in my yard. I love to see them. In the springtime when they pop up, it means that warmer weather is on its way and life is springing new again. So thank you for joining me for that. As I said in that other video, I'm going to be sharing some new ones that everybody can see. So I will see you next time back here with some new videos. Have a great day. Bye.